Hi everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Redloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and thank you for joining me for another week of live step-by-step crafting. Now today I'm going to continue on in my Saleabration series as I work my way through the brochure, showing you projects featuring products that you can earn with a free qualifying order. Now let me just make sure that I am live here on Facebook. Looks like I'm good to go. If you are joining me here live on Facebook, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know that you're watching. If you're watching this via replay here on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, make sure to comment replay and let me know that you were able to join me this week. Now, like I mentioned, today I'm going to be continuing on in my Saleabration series. Can you believe that we only have a week and a half left of Saleabration? Where has the time gone? I cannot believe that Saleabration has flown by, and September 30th is also the last of the Stampin' Up! Year. I can't believe this past year has gone by so fast and how things have just gone crazy during COVID time for myself. So, hello Molly, hi Leanne, thank you for joining me. It's great that you guys are able to follow along with me today. Now, like I mentioned, today I'll be featuring the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. This is a free item with a $50 qualifying order in our Saleabration brochure. Now let me go ahead and swap the camera and I can show you the products and projects that we're going to be working with today. So, all right, so the first thing is, I just had it, where did it go? Is the Saleabration brochure. Here it is. So Saleabration runs until September 30th. So if you are not too familiar with what Saleabration is, this is Stampin' Up's biggest promotion that we now host 2 times a year. So Saleabration, we are working our way through the Saleabration brochure. This is, I think, product number 7 that I'm featuring today. A quick announcement about Saleabration. At the beginning, I had told you that 3 of our items are while supplies last, and 1 of those items is now sold out. So the Bedazzling 6x6 Designer Series paper, I showed this to you guys a couple weeks ago, where you could color this in using Stampin' Blends. Unfortunately, this has sold out, so no longer available. I loved this paper. I have a huge stack of it behind me, so I can't wait to create more projects with this paper. Now, today I'll be featuring the Penguin Playmates 12x12 Designer Series paper. Now, this paper is found on page 4 of the Saleabration brochure, but here is what it looks like a little bit bigger for you guys. Let me get that into camera view for you there. So this 12x12 Designer Series paper is dual-sided, just like all of our other Designer Series papers, and it coordinates with a product in our July through December mini catalog. So the Penguins place on page 33 of the mini catalog. This paper coordinates with this bundle. Now, unfortunately, the punch is currently on back order and is not available to order, but the stamp set is. So today in my projects, I will be featuring just the stamp set so that you can still create projects with just the stamp set alone. And then when the punch becomes available later, you can then add that to your order. So our Penguin Place stamp set coordinates with this paper. Now this stamp set will be available until the end of December, but this paper is only available until the end of September. So if you're wanting to get the paper to coordinate with this bundle, you're going to want to place a $50 order prior to September 30th. So this is the 12x12 Designer Series paper. This is probably my favorite paper from Saleabration. Now, while I love that Bedazzling paper, this paper is super cute to create some frosty projects for upcoming seasons. So today I'm going to be featuring 2 projects featuring, I still have that cough in my throat, featuring this Designer Series paper. So we are going to create a card like we always do, and then we're going to create this little mini gift tag, which is really fun to put on gifts for the upcoming holiday season. Now, I saw online the other day talking about how we should be shopping for Christmas now because of a lot of supply chain issues that may be coming up. So if you create your tags now, when those products come in that you've ordered, or if you go to the store and get them, you can then put these cute little tags on them as soon as possible. All right, now before we jump into our projects, let me move this out of the way here. If you are new, I do something each week called Prize Patrol. This is where all you have to do is share this video to be entered into Prize Patrol. Now, sometimes Facebook doesn't always let me know when, excuse me, when somebody has shared my video. So you need to share and then comment that you shared, because sometimes your security settings doesn't always let me know. So last week I featured the Delicate Dahlias as my Prize Patrol item. So the winner for last week's Prize Patrol was Kathy Robinson. So congratulations, Kathy. You are last week's Prize Patrol winner. I know I'll see you coming up here a few times, so I will get this to you the next time I see you. Melissa, you already have your cards almost finished. I haven't even thought about finishing up my Christmas cards yet. Usually I just use the ones from my classes as my Christmas cards for the year because I tend to have quite a bit at the end of the season. All right, our Prize Patrol for this week is the In Your Words stamp set. Now, this is actually in our current Saleabration catalog, but is only available with a $300 order or more. So this is the In Your Words stamp set. It's great because it has all these different sentiments and all the fonts are different. I love a good sentiment set that has varying fonts. So this is really fun. I think it says, your hope your day is fantabulistic. Fabulous and fantastic all in one. It has a great happy birthday sentiment. Be who you were born to be. Hope this card makes you smile. So some great sentiments, and they're different sizes too. So you can use them on the inside of cards or on the outside for your sentiment. So this is our Prize Patrol for this week, and all you have to do is share the video and comment that you shared. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our projects. Like I said, today I'm featuring the Penguin Place, excuse me, the Penguin Place stamp set. I'm not featuring the punch. I do have the punch, but because it's on back order, we're just gonna be featuring the stamp set so that you can still make projects with this stamp set. All right, our cards, I got all my supplies here ready to go. We're gonna work on the card first. It's bigger, just get that stuff out of the way. So this is an easel card. Now, if you are new to watching my videos or just need a reminder, each week on my website, stampinblondie.com, I have this free PDF with all the details on the videos projects today. It's posted every Monday morning with all the item names, item numbers, prices, and the dimensions of the projects. So you can pair this free PDF with this video and you can create along with me each week. I'd love to see your projects. Feel free to post them on my Create with Stampin' Blondie private Facebook group. If you are not on that, you can search Facebook, Create with Stampin' Blondie, and you can join. And we have more fun and lots of different projects posted in there each week. All right, our first project today is featuring the Misty Moonlight design or cardstock, Misty Moonlight cardstock, and this is cut to 4 1/4 by 11. Make sure I got all my pieces out of there. And I have a piece of soft seafoam cardstock and the designer series paper from the Penguin Playmates 12 by 12. Now, I couldn't figure out which side I really wanted to do because these little woodland animals and the polar bear and the penguin, they're just so cute. But because we're gonna cut out these bigger animals, I went with the side with the polka dots. So we have our 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock, and we're going to use our bone folder to crisp up our line. Now I've got my soft seafoam. I'm going to use tape runner on this. My tape runner is almost out, so I'm gonna need to probably change this out as we work. Yep, there we go, it's out. So if you have the Stampin' Seal, I'm gonna do a quick little demo on how to change this out. Our Stampin' Seal tape runner, the original cartridge comes in this plastic container. Don't throw this away. This is what you're going to change out. So you can throw that inside part away, and then you have a new Stampin' Seal. Now, if you have the Stampin' Seal Plus, it's the same size, so you can get one outside cartridge and just refill the insides back and forth here. So Stampin' Seal, and that's it. That's all it is. And you just have to advance the glue a little bit, and it's good to go. So we're gonna use our tape runner here, and this is gonna go right in the middle of our card here. Hi, Lisa from Wisconsin. I am from Iowa. I miss the Midwest, especially right now when it's still like 100 degrees outside here in Tucson. All right, we have our designer series paper, and we're gonna place that in the middle of our soft seafoam cardstock. And right there. Now, when you put this down and you open it, you may see that there is a little bit, hopefully you guys can see that, a little bit of cardstock just hanging off the edge there. You can take your scissors and just trim that up, because even if your cardstock is the right size, when you put it down here on your card, it may just be a little bit lower than the top here. So I just trimmed off the edge, and that's flush with the bottom. Now I've already pre-cut using the Tasteful Labels dies a piece of fresh freesia cardstock, and this is gonna go right in the middle of our designer series paper. And we're gonna put it, we're not putting it right in the middle, and we're not putting it right at the bottom. Kind of this lower third of the card is gonna go right there, because we want room for our sentiment at the bottom. All right, our designer series paper. So I just kind of took my designer series paper and cut out some of the animals, but what we're gonna do is, unfortunately, there aren't any dies to go along with these guys, but what we're gonna do is, these are very easy to fussy cut out. So with fussy cutting, you can get as close to the object you're trying to cut out, or you can leave a little white space. I like to leave a little bit of white space around my guys. And you can see I'm turning the paper with my left hand and keeping my scissors steady with my right hand. When I fussy cut, I feel like I get better control of my item that I'm cutting when I move the paper with my left hand but keep my scissors steady. And see how easy that was to cut out. Very cute, very quick, and very easy. Now, some of this designer series paper does coordinate with the punch. So the punch cuts out this little shape right here. So there are pieces on the designer series paper that the punch does coordinate with, but I am not using those today because I wanted to show you the other pieces of designer series paper. And there's so many of these little animals that you can cut out. Basically every side of the paper. One side is animals, the other side is a pattern. So you can get a ton of little animal shapes from this paper. I love designer series paper that coordinates with our products. And oh, another Wisconsin person. Hello, welcome. Hopefully it's not too cold up there for you guys yet. It's probably actually turning fall and you guys get like leaf changes. Like I said, I'm originally from Iowa, so I miss the Midwest during the fall. Tucson doesn't have fall. It's still currently 99 degrees outside, but I'll get to see fall in a couple weeks, so I am excited. I'm heading to Montana with my best friends, and we're gonna hang out and just relax, so that should be fun. All right, I'm fussy cutting the last guy, the snowman here, and you can see how quick and easy it is just to cut these guys out. You can get as detailed and intricate around the patterns as you want, but a quick, simple turn of the paper and you'll be able to cut the whole thing out very quick. All right, there's our three little guys here. All right, we're gonna arrange these onto our paper. I've got my snowman tucked behind in the back. So we're gonna lay him down with liquid glue. And I'm using liquid glue because it is these are little smaller pieces and the tape runner doesn't sometimes always get into those little sections. Now these other two guys, the fox and the penguin, we're gonna adhere those down with Stampin Dimensionals. And if you've never worked with Stampin Dimensionals before, they are just little foam pop-up pieces. They're double-sided and you get 3 sheets in a package for $4. Very cheap and fun to use to pop up your project. I do very well at fussy cutting. Oh, thanks, Kay. It's I've had quite a lot of practice fussy cutting when stuff doesn't have dies to coordinate with it. All right, we've got our 2 little animals here, and then at the bottom we're gonna do our sentiment. Now from the penguin place, I'm going to do the sentiment that says, "To the coolest friend ever." Super cute. And we're gonna do this in fresh freesia. I chose fresh freesia because it is not as prevalent as our other colors on the card here. And I did this against soft seafoam. So it's gonna stand out. Oh, wrong one. "To the coolest friend ever." And stamp it right onto our soft seafoam. I'm going to flag the ends of this, and the easiest way to make sure that your angles are the same on both sides is that I just like to take my scissors and cut a little bit up the center and then from corner to corner, and that will ensure that your flag angles are the same on both sides. So a snip up the middle, corner to the top of that snip, corner to the top, and there is our flagged end piece. And I'm going to use liquid glue because this is a smaller piece, and that's just going to go right at the base of our card. As the final touch, we're going to embellish with the pastel. Oh, my sentiment's crooked. There we go. That's another plus about liquid glue, is that you have a few seconds for give. If your paper shifts, then you can just move it back into place with liquid glue, unlike a tape runner where it's stuck in place forever. All right, we're gonna embellish this with the Pastel Pearls. These are found in the annual catalog in the back, and it comes with 4 different colors. We're gonna do the light purple, so Highland Heather, and 2 pearls here. Picking these up with my Take Your Pick tool, I find that it's easiest to pick these pearls up that way, and then they won't fly across the room and then I can't find them anymore. All right, so there is our first project featuring the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I love it because it's really easy for a beginner to create this project. You don't have to have a lot of skill set. It's just 1 stamp, and you can even leave the stamp off if you are not very comfortable doing stamping. And everything's already colored in for you. There's no coloring on this with the Designer Series paper already colored for you. So I hope you guys like this first project. This is the Penguin Playmates 12x12 Designer Series paper. Very fun to create with this pattern paper. All right, looks like you guys like that card. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Joan. Oh, by the way, is it Joan or Joanne? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but I want to make sure you were our Prize Patrol winner a few weeks ago for the Counting Sheep stamp set. So make sure to private message me your address, and I can get this to you out in the mail. So I don't want you to forget, and this will go to Sumner, Washington for you. So make sure to private message me your address, and I can get that in the mail to you. All right, our next project, this itty bitty cute little tag. I love this. Creating gift tags is really fun for the holidays. You can personalize projects and gifts, and then you can write a little message on the back of them for this little tag. So today, let me get my package of stuff out here today. We've got a little tiny piece that I don't want to lose, so I'm going to put that right over there. Now this tag is actually a die cut set. This is from the Tailor Made tags. This is from the annual catalog. You get 10 different dies, 4 of one size of tags, 4 of the other, and then 2 dies here in the middle that create this little tag topper. I guess that's what you would call that. I'm not really sure. It kind of just goes around the hole in the top of the tag. So with these dies, like I mentioned, you get 2 different styles of tags. So we are going to create using this bigger die here that kind of has the little scalloped edges on them. So these are the Tailor Made tags dies from the annual catalog. I love them because you don't have to do any kind of cutting for these except to run it through the die machine. And it does the stitching at the same exact time. So perfect, all at once. So I've pre-cut my tag from our designer series paper. Here's that other side. So you can literally do whatever side of the paper. But because I wanted my little penguin guys to be my main focus on my card, I didn't do the busy side. I did the pink side, or purple Fresh Freesia side. And this is also cut from the Tasteful Labels dies. Another great die set to have that cuts that stitching out all at the same time for you. So we're gonna fussy cut out these little guys just like our last project. Now these are a little bit smaller, but still just as easy to fussy cut out. So the polar bear is the biggest one, and we're just gonna round the edges here on our guy. I'm glad you guys like this tag. I wanted to do something different than just a card, especially with this paper that's more winter. I mean, creating a gift tag is really fun. And we do cards all the time, so I wanted to do something just a little bit different. So we're rounding the edges on our polar bear, and you can see how easy it is to fussy cut them out. Okay, up and around. There we go. Our next one is this little penguin. So this one is a little smaller than the last one, and his scarf is blowing in the wind. And he's pretty easy to fussy cut out there too. Again, like I mentioned with fussy cutting, you can get as detailed into the grooves and crevices of the project as you want, but I find that rounding the edges a little bit more makes it easier. Of course, we wish there was dies for everything, or punch, but sometimes it's quicker to fussy cut than set up your machine or your punch. All right, our last little fox guy here, we're just rounding the edges on him. Now there's a little tuft of hair at the top of the fox. You can just kind of go around that a little bit if you want. And on this, we're going to add a little bit of shimmer and shine just to make the tag stand out a little bit more. There's our fox. All right, the first thing we're going to do so that I don't lose this little piece is this is the little 4. So this is one die, and it cuts 4 of these little round, let's say donut pieces out all at the same time. And they're super small and tiny, very easy to lose. And then the best way to adhere this is you could use a fine tip glue pen, but I didn't get that out today. So I'm just dabbing a little bit of liquid glue onto this piece. So that's gonna go right over the hole there. And you don't want a lot of glue because it'll come out the other end. Now, you could put another hole on the back of this if you wanted to, but I figured nobody's really gonna see the back, so I did not put any on the back of mine. Now, while that is drying a little bit, we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, this time I am gonna do tone-on-tone stamping. So Fresh Freesia ink pad on Fresh Freesia cardstock, die cut with the Tasteful Labels dies. And this one we're gonna use, it says lots of thanks. And that is from the Penguin Place right here as well. Lots of thanks. And there you go. Now, like I mentioned, this paper is a free with a $50 purchase. So this stamp set is $17. You can add in the tag dies or some cardstock, adhesive, envelopes, and then you could get that designer series paper for free and create with this. Now, you can wait until the penguin punch comes back in later and then order that, and then you could punch out the penguins, but that's that. Oh, I was gonna put dimensionals on the back of that. Let's do that. So dimensionals on our sentiment, even though I added a little bit of liquid glue on there, it'll still stick right there. Our dimensionals make that sentiment pop up from our tag, so that gives it a little bit of height to the tag there. So we have our sentiment. Now we're gonna layer on our animal still, just like the last one. The polar bear is gonna go in the back just because he's bigger, and I'm gonna use liquid glue on there. Got glue on my fingers from gluing down that little donut hole at the top. You're not really crafting if you're not covered in glue, I say. Now for this one, because the workspace is a little smaller, I'm not gonna pop up both the penguin and the fox because then there wouldn't be enough room. So the penguin's gonna go down first, again with liquid glue because it's a smaller surface area. And that's gonna go right here in the corner. And the fox is gonna be the one that's popped up because he's gonna be in the foreground here. Right there. And that's gonna go in the lower right corner. Now I'm gonna use a fresh freesia ribbon. This is the open weave 3/8 inch ribbon. Now this is found in our annual catalog and comes in all of our newest in color ribbon colors. So we have fresh freesia, pale papaya, soft succulent, evening evergreen, and polished pink. So all of those colors come in this same ribbon. And I'm gonna use about 7 inches of ribbon. And this little hole here is very small. And you want a ribbon that's easily pliable to work with. So you don't want too thick of a ribbon because it'll be very, very difficult to get through the hole there. So what I'm gonna do is make the end, I'm gonna fold it in half and I'm gonna make the end very tiny. And we're gonna stick that through. So we have our folded end here, and then we're gonna pull through the 2 ends. And now when you do this part, you don't wanna pull too hard. If you pull too hard, you can rip the top of your tag right off. So just a little tug is all you need, and then trim the edges at an angle for the tag topper. Now, of course, we're gonna embellish this just to give it a little more oomph. We're gonna bring in those pastel pearls that we used on the last project, and I'm gonna just use one of that same color that we used there in the upper right-hand corner. And then Wink of Stella. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen here, but I added some Wink of Stella glitter brush to the polar bear, the penguin, and the fox's scarves, and then also the fox tail. So this will give it a little bit of shimmer and really make those designer series papers pop out onto the tag. So if you've never worked with Wink of Stella glitter brush, it is a liquid glitter brush. There's no loose glitter in here. And all you have to do is just paint it on to your project. So you, just like a paintbrush, you wipe that right onto your project. And we're putting it onto our penguin, our fox, and polar bear scarves to give it a little bit of sparkle. Now with Wink of Stella, it's great because it's buildable. So as this dries, if you're like, ooh, I want more glitter and more shine, you can just go in there and right over what you've already done, you can add more and more glitter and it's buildable. So right on top there with more and more glitter. So that will have, hopefully you guys can see that, a little shimmer and sparkle onto the tag and just really make those highlighted focal points of the scarves and the tail just really kind of stand out from the rest of the designer series paper. All right, so there's our cute little tags that we made with the Penguin Playmates 12 by 12 designer series paper. This is one of the items from Saleabration that ends in about a week and a half. So if you love this designer series paper that coordinates with our Penguin Play stamp set right here, make sure to place an order for $50 and then you can choose this designer series paper for free. Melissa, I love Wink of Stella too. This I talk about it a lot. My husband's active duty military. I have no loose glitter in my craft room, so it is nice to have a little bit of shimmer and shine, and I don't have to worry about it spilling all over the place and just, you know, migrating everywhere, because we all know what they say about glitter and it just never goes away. So here are our two projects that we created today. Let me know which one you guys like the most. I have to say this cute little tag is probably my favorite project that I created today. It's fun, it's small, it's cute, and it's really easy to put together. You can make a whole bunch of these with the designer series paper, and they would be different colors too, and different patterns with the paper here. All right, let me know which one's your favorites in the comments. I think the tag may be the winner today, but sometimes you guys surprise me and you like the card as well. So let me know what you think. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. Now, next week, we are gonna be doing our final week of our Saleabration series. And you'll have to tune in, we've got 2 items left that I haven't highlighted yet. Is it going to be the Christmas designer series paper, or is it gonna be the texture and frame stamp set? Or maybe a combination of both. You'll have to tune in next week as I conclude my Saleabration Stampin' Up series. I hope you all have a wonderful week and I will see you next time. Bye.